Hi everyone, it's Kait Ballenger here. I'm so excited to have you join me for this video today for a few different reasons. The first is that this is going to be one of many videos I'm planning to do in 2020. One of my goals for this year was to increase the amount of video content that I could provide to my readers. And the second is that this post is actually dedicated to Coastal Magic Con. I'm doing it on behalf of their reading challenge that they're hosting for their readers. So if you are a Coastal Magic attendee, hello, hi, I'm so excited to see you all in February. You're going to be near me in sunny Daytona Beach. And if you are not a Coastal Magic attendee and you are watching this on my regular Facebook page or in my Kate's Click group, then I hope you will look up Coastal Magic and you'll consider attending, because it really is one of the best cons that I do every year and I really enjoy it. So let's go ahead and get started. So since I'm hosting the Coastal Magic Reading Challenge content this week, I'll go ahead and give a little intro to myself for those of you who might not be familiar with my work. So as I said, my name is Kait Ballenger and I write paranormal romance, very sexy paranormal, but with a Western twist. So currently I'm working on my 7-Range Shifter series. Book 1 is right here. It's called Cowboy Wolf Trouble. You want to see? That's book 1. And then book 2 is Cowboy in Wolf's Clothing. And then I'm super excited about book 3 because this one comes out on January 28th. So just a few weeks away, very close to release day, book 3 in the series, Wicked Cowboy Wolf. And today I'm going to be sharing with you a little excerpt from Wicked Cowboy Wolf for my first post of this week for the Coastal Magic Reading Challenge. So to give a little setup of the book, so the hero is a criminal rogue wolf, and he's known only by the alias Rogue. And we first meet him in book 2 of the series when he is locked beside the heroine of that book in the vampire's cells. So he's kind of being held by an enemy, and he strikes a deal with the heroine of that book and also the woman who will be the future heroine of his book, right? Maeve. So Rogue's a criminal wolf. Maeve is the younger sister of the Grey Wolf Pack Master, and the Grey Wolves are the pack that this series centers around. They're cowboys by day, wolf shifters by night. They live on a ranch called Wolf Pack Run in Montana, and so Maeve is the Packmaster's younger sister. This guy, Rogue, is her known enemy, so it's an enemies to lovers trope. And she's made a kind of secretive deal with him before, and now all of a sudden he's shown up again in her bedroom in the middle of the night, and he's offering her a deal that might just possibly save her pack from some vampire peril that they are facing. So I'm going to go ahead and read the excerpt. So this is Wicked Cowboy Wolf, book 3 in the 7-Range Shifter series, out on January 28th in both paperback and ebook. Okay, so let's find, and this is a short section from chapter 3. Do you know anything about snake venom, May? He asked, catching her off guard. She gave him a once-over. No, but I imagine you do. She'd never met another wolf who'd reminded her more of a coiled viper prepared to strike. It was as intriguing as it was unnerving. You can't make antivenom without the original source. The venom is the base of the antidote. Those cold eyes raked over her. And right now, you're the vampire's perfect kind of poison. May stiffened. What do you mean? There's a bloodsucker, one of the vampire's scientists. He was one of the key developers in creating the vampire's serum. The serum from my blood? None other. Ever since I learned what those bloodsuckers were up to, I've been tracking him, but he's gone off the grid, vanished, likely on his coven leader's orders, to protect their secrets. And how do you know this? I'm a dealer in secrets and favors, May. You know that well, and when you're a wolf like me, you know the right questions to ask from the right sources. His answer was more cryptic than she cared for, but she didn't press further. And what does that have to do with me? She asked. Everything. He eased closer. Before he vanished, this bloodsucker was tasked with finding a way to make the serum he'd created from your blood foolproof, perfect for widespread use against shifters. But word on the street is he found a way to counteract the serum. There's only one antidote, a counter-injection which reverses the effects of the serum. May's breath caught. An antidote to the vampire serum would be the Grey Wolves' saving grace. Everything they'd needed from Alexander and more. And the bloodsucker scientist who created it can only create an antidote injection for widespread use by obtaining further blood samples from the original source of the serum, Rogue finished. From the original source. Me. It was a statement, not a question. None other. May gaped. Her blood had been used to create the injectable serum that could be the downfall of her species, but it could also be used as a cure for that same injection. Her mouth went dry. But the vampires don't want an antidote for widespread use, she breathed. The rogue gave a single tilt of his head. Precisely. Which means... Her voice trailed off. Something darkened in his icy blue eyes, sending a chill down her spine. Which means the vampires want you dead, he finished. May was shaking her head. This couldn't be happening. It couldn't. No, they already took what they needed from me. They created their serum injection. They got what they wanted. He quirked a single brow. His Stetson dipped low over his eyes, covering his scars. Even with them, he was entirely too handsome. Why did the devil come in such an appealing package? And you think that'll stop them? He asked. Their serum injection means nothing so long as there's a possibility of counteracting it by creating an antidote. So long as you live and breathe, you're a threat to their plan. Whoever has both their scientist and you could stop them in their tracks. May didn't respond. If what he said was true, she needed to confess everything to Maverick, and fast. Maverick would be angry, furious even, but he would be fair and forgiving. Even on his worst days, he was a model older brother. He'd always found a way to make time for her as his little sister, and she knew he had always cared deeply for her well-being, starting long before their parents had passed years ago, leaving only the two of them behind. He would be angry with her, but this was bigger than her. She could trust Maverick to handle the situation, and while the rogue might have saved her life once before, she couldn't trust him. He was a known criminal. Hell, she didn't even know his real name. His predatory gaze followed her every move, waiting for her reaction. His stare made her feel naked, laid bare, and that was saying something, considering he'd already seen her do that. She cleared her throat, putting on her sternest secretary voice, the one she reserved for when one of their ranching business associates was giving her flack or trying to undercut them on a deal. This has all been very intriguing, but you need to go. He chuckled as he eased closer, forcing her to step back. I'm not leaving until you hear my offer. What could you possibly have to offer me? Everything you wish, he countered. May laughed. She didn't believe him for a second. Sure you can. What makes you think I can't? He asked. She hesitated as her laughter cut short. She supposed that was a good question. She knew how powerful he was. In some ways, not even her brother could rival him. Not when it came to navigating the supernatural underworld. Maverick had to make the honorable choice, always, to play by the pack's rules and traditions. She shook her head. Something still wasn't adding up. Why me? Why bring this to me and not Maverick? From the quirk of his lips, that question seemed to amuse him. Why not you? May blinked. His answer caught her off guard. She served this pack every day, cared about them as her family. She'd sacrificed so many choices for them, no less than Maverick, and yet she didn't have the title or the power of being packmaster in return. All because he'd been born first? Because he was an alpha male? She would never begrudge her brother his role as packmaster. He'd more than earned her and the pack's respect over the years. But the pack's inheritance traditions weren't exactly progressive. This concerned her directly. So hell, Rogue was right. Why not her? Why wasn't it her place to make a deal with the devil if it would save her pack? Once word spreads, not even your brother will be able to protect you, Maeve. Not only will the vampires want to destroy you, but you think none of the seven-range pack will double-cross the Grey Wolves to get the antidote first? Think again. The hairs on the back of May's neck prickled. Of course, if further blood samples from her were the key to creating an antidote for widespread use, she'd become sought after like a commodity, a tool used for power. It would be a race to the proverbial finish line. Whatever pack had access to the blood samples from her would need only find the scientist who knew how to recreate the antidote for mass production, and having the solution to counteract the vampire's serum would give any pack unprecedented power. The only way you get out of this alive is if you disappear, he continued. If no one is able to find you. His implication was clear. Who better to help her disappear than him? But what do you get out of this? She asked. Rogue wolves don't have a side in this war. Think again, princess. When the vampires wanted test subjects, who do you think they targeted? A missing pack member draws far too much notice. Involved or not, they'll make us their victims again. We need that antidote as much as you do. Our lives depend on it. He drew closer. She tried to move, but he blocked her path. He wouldn't let her walk away that easily, and he'd already tipped his hand when he'd said he'd come here for her. She brandished the knife again, but he suddenly had hold of her wrist, disarming her within seconds. He slammed the blade onto the granite countertop. She had nowhere to go, no escape. This close to him, she should have been scared, but she wasn't. She felt the heat radiating from him. He didn't touch her, but somehow he didn't have to. Her nipples tightened in anticipation, betraying her, and her breath quickened. She'd never reacted this way to another male before. Having him close like this was visceral, primal. We're the unwilling guinea pigs in the Grey Wolves' war, and the pact continues to turn a blind eye. His voice was low. I won't sit by as they kill another of mine. Help me, and I'll help you and your pack. It was crazy. He made it sound so easy. And that's all you expect in return, for the antidote to be given to the rogues as well, she asked. I told you I deal in secrets, favors. He smiled. I'll collect further payment when it's due, he answered cryptically. She sucked in a harsh breath. Time is what you need, May, he said. His voice was coaxing, an alluring, velvety growl. I can buy you time. Deep down, she knew he was right. This would be new information for Maverick. It would take weeks to find the right intel to move forward, but the rogue likely already had leads and plans for how to find the scientist, and the clock was ticking. Each moment that passed without the antidote endangered the lives of her pack members, her family. I'll find the bloodsucker that can create the antidote from your blood sample to save your pack, and in the meantime, you'll have the ability to disappear, to remain safe under my protection, and whatever else you wish. It's a generous offer. The rogue leaned in toward her. He was so close, she saw the flecks of gray in the deep blue of his irises, like ice floating in the freezing ocean. The warmth of his breath brushed her ear, sending a delicious chill down her spine. There are things I can give you that others can't, he whispered. She wasn't so certain he was talking about vampires anymore. Tell me what you want, princess, and it's yours. His words vibrated through her like a gentle thrumming purr. I just want to save my pack, she murmured. I want the antidote for them. That's all. Without her, they wouldn't be in their current position, not if she hadn't been taken captive by the vampires. Sure, if not her, it could have easily been someone else in the pack, but that failed to matter. She was the sister of the Packmaster, the pure-blooded wolf whose blood had been pivotal to the vampires' plans. She couldn't let her pack down. Rogue's hand fell away from her cheek, and she was suddenly all too aware of the loss of his touch. Done. He stepped away from her. His absence left a void of heat in its wake. You shouldn't have agreed. May's mouth went dry. Why not? She asked. A dark grin crossed his lips. It was part warning, part amusement. Because nothing good ever comes from deals with a devil like me. So, I hope you enjoyed that excerpt of Wicked Cowboy Wolf. I will be back in the Coastal Magic group again later this week. I'll be sharing some exciting news on Wednesday, and then on Friday you can look forward to a interview with me and contemporary romance author, my dear friend Mara Wells, who has a wonderful book called Cold Nose Warm Heart coming out also on January 28th, the same day as Wicked Cowboy Wolf. So I really hope you enjoyed the excerpt. Please, if you're a Coastal Magic attendee in the reading group, check back for my post later this week. If you're on my regular Facebook page, don't worry, I'll have more content for you guys coming soon. And if you all, since I am trying to build my video content, if you liked this video and you want to see more videos of lots of Cowboy Wolf excerpts and all sorts of writer and authorly fun, then please click subscribe on my YouTube channel and you'll be one of my first subscribers. So thanks for joining me today, guys. It was great to be here with you. And for the Coastal Magic attendees, I can't wait to see you all here in sunny Florida. Not too long now. I'll see you all later. Bye.